Have you ever found yourself forgetting where you parked your car or struggling to recall a name that's right on the tip of your tongue? If you're over 60, those little memory slips can feel a bit unsettling. Can't they? You might wonder if it's just a normal part of aging or if there's something you're doing or not doing that's making it worse. The truth is, your brain is an incredible organ, capable of staying sharp and vibrant well into your later years. But certain everyday habits could be quietly working against it. Today, I'm here to talk about 5 bad habits that might be shrinking your brain after 65 and, more importantly, how you can fix them starting today. These are simple, actionable changes that can help protect your memory, boost your focus, and keep your mind thriving. So, grab a cozy seat, maybe a warm drink, and let's dive into the first habit that could be holding your brain back. Let's start with something many of us don't think twice about: sitting too much. Now, I know life after 65 can sometimes mean more time relaxing at home, catching up on your favorite shows, or enjoying a good book. But spending hours sitting without moving can do more harm than you might realize. Your brain relies on good blood flow to get the oxygen and nutrients it needs to stay healthy. And sitting for long periods slows that circulation down. Studies have shown that a sedentary lifestyle can lead to reduced brain volume, especially in areas like the hippocampus, which is crucial for memory. That's right, sitting too much could literally be shrinking the parts of your brain that help you remember and think clearly. Take my friend Margaret, who's 68. She used to spend most of her afternoons sitting, whether it was watching TV or doing crossword puzzles. She started noticing she felt foggy and was forgetting small things, like her grocery list or appointments. A doctor friend suggested she might be sitting too much. So Margaret decided to make a change. She started setting a timer to get up every 30 minutes to stretch or walk around her house. She also joined a local walking group that meets twice a week for a gentle stroll in the park. Within a few weeks, Margaret felt more alert, and she was remembering things better, like the names of her neighbors or the plot of the novel she was reading. She told me those little bursts of movement made her feel like her brain was waking up. So, how can you fix this habit? It's easier than you might think. Start by breaking up your sitting time with short bursts of activity. Set a timer for every 30 to 60 minutes and stand up, stretch, or take a quick walk around your living room. Even small movements, like doing a few chair squats or marching in place, can get your blood flowing. Aim for at least 20 to 30 minutes of light activity each day. Things like walking, gardening, or even dancing to your favorite song. If you're not sure where to start, try joining a local class like yoga or Tai Chi, which are gentle on the body but great for the brain. If mobility is a challenge, talk to your doctor about seated exercises you can do safely. The goal is to move a little more each day to keep your brain well fed with oxygen and nutrients. Now, let's talk about another habit that might be sneaking up on you: not getting enough sleep. Sleep is like a nightly tune-up for your brain, helping it process memories, clear out toxins, and recharge for the next day. But as we age, sleep can become trickier. Maybe you're waking up in the middle of the night or struggling to fall asleep. Skimping on sleep, whether it's staying up too late or tossing and turning, can take a toll on your brain. Research shows that chronic poor sleep can shrink areas of the brain involved in memory and decision-making, making it harder to stay sharp. My neighbor Tom, who's 70, used to burn the midnight oil watching late-night talk shows, thinking he was making the most of his evenings. But he started noticing he was forgetting little things, like where he parked his car or what he needed at the store. He decided to prioritize sleep, aiming for 7 to 8 hours a night. He set a regular bedtime, turned off screens an hour before bed, and started a relaxing routine with a cup of chamomile tea and some light reading. Within a month, Tom told me he felt clearer, more focused, and was remembering things better, like the names of his grandkids' friends. It wasn't just about sleeping more. It was about giving his brain the rest it needed to thrive. Here's how you can fix this habit. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night, and try to stick to a consistent schedule, even on weekends. Create a calming bedtime routine, maybe a warm bath, some gentle stretching, or listening to soft music. Keep your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet to make it easier to drift off. If screens are a temptation, try putting your phone or tablet in another room an hour before bed. The blue light can mess with your sleep hormones. If you're struggling with sleep, don't hesitate to talk to your doctor. Sometimes small changes, like adjusting medications or addressing stress, can make a big difference. Good sleep is like a gift to your brain, helping it stay sharp and resilient. Now that we've covered sitting too much and skimping on sleep, let's move on to a third habit that might be hurting your brain: eating too many processed foods. What you eat directly affects your brain, and a diet heavy in processed snacks, sugary drinks, or fast food can starve your brain of the nutrients it needs. These foods can cause inflammation and oxidative stress, which damage brain cells over time. Studies have linked diets high in processed foods to a smaller hippocampus and a higher risk of cognitive decline, which means trouble for your memory and thinking skills. Let me tell you about my Aunt Clara, who's 6. She used to love her daily soda and chips, especially while watching her favorite shows. But she started noticing she felt sluggish and was forgetting things, like the names of people she just met. After a chat with her doctor, she decided to cut back on processed foods and add more brain-healthy options. She swapped her soda for water with a splash of lemon and started snacking on nuts and fruit instead of chips. She also added more vegetables, like spinach and broccoli, to her dinners. Within a few weeks, Clara felt more energized and noticed she was remembering things better, like the details of a book club discussion. It wasn't about giving up everything she loved. It was about making smarter choices for her brain. To fix this habit, start by cutting back on processed foods like sugary snacks, packaged meals, and fast food. Focus on adding brain-boosting foods instead. Think fruits like berries, vegetables like leafy greens, and healthy fats like those in nuts, avocados, or fish. Aim to make one small change at a time, like replacing a sugary drink with water or herbal tea, or swapping a processed snack for a handful of almonds. Try planning one meal a week packed with brain-healthy foods, like a salmon salad with spinach and walnuts. And don't forget to stay hydrated. Dehydration can make it harder to focus and remember. You don't need to overhaul your diet overnight. Small, consistent changes can make a big difference for your brain. Let's move on to the fourth habit that could be shrinking your brain: not challenging your mind enough. Your brain thrives on stimulation, and without it, it can start to lose its edge. If you're spending most of your day on routine tasks like watching TV or doing the same chores without much thought, you might be missing out on opportunities to keep your brain active. Research shows that a lack of mental stimulation can lead to reduced brain volume and weaker connections between brain cells, which can make it harder to remember and process information. My friend Susan, who's 69, realized she'd fallen into a rut after retirement. She spent hours watching TV or scrolling on her phone, and she started noticing her memory wasn't as sharp. She'd forget appointments or struggle to recall words. She decided to shake things up by picking up a new hobby: crossword puzzles. She started with easy ones in the newspaper, spending just 15 minutes a day. Over time, she worked up to tougher puzzles and even joined a local book club to discuss new ideas. Susan says her mind feels sharper, and she's better at remembering names and details from conversations. It wasn't about becoming a genius. It was about giving her brain something new to chew on. So, how can you fix this habit? Find ways to challenge your brain every day, even in small ways. Try a new hobby, like puzzles, knitting, or learning a few words in a new language. If you love reading, pick a book outside your usual genre or join a discussion group to share ideas. Even simple activities, like playing cards or doing a jigsaw puzzle, can keep your brain engaged. Aim for 15 to 30 minutes a day of mental stimulation. Think of it as a workout for your mind. If you're not sure where to start, check out free apps or websites with brain games, or visit your local library for books and activities. The key is to find something you enjoy, so it feels like fun, not work. Now, let's talk about the fifth habit that might be hurting your brain: isolating yourself too much. Humans are social creatures, and your brain thrives on connection. Spending too much time alone, whether it's because of retirement, mobility issues, or just a quieter lifestyle, can lead to loneliness, which studies show can shrink parts of the brain and increase the risk of cognitive decline. Social interaction challenges your brain to process conversations, recall memories, and stay engaged, all of which keep it healthy. Take my Uncle George, who's 72. After he retired, he started spending more time alone at home, and he noticed he was feeling down and forgetting things, like his weekly coffee date with friends. He decided to reconnect by joining a local gardening club where he could chat with others and share tips. He also started calling an old friend once a week to catch up. George says those connections made him feel alive again. And he's noticed he's better at remembering names and keeping track of his schedule. The social boost wasn't just good for his mood. It was like a tonic for his brain. To fix this habit, look for ways to stay connected, even in small ways. Call a friend or family member for a quick chat, or invite a neighbor over for tea. Join a local group, like a book club, walking group, or a volunteer organization. Check your community center or library for options. If getting out is tough, try video calls or online groups to stay engaged. Even small interactions, like chatting with a cashier or waving to a neighbor, can make a difference. Aim for at least one meaningful connection a day. Whether it's a conversation or a shared activity, your brain will thank you for keeping it active and connected. Now, let's bring all this together. We've talked about 5 bad habits that could be shrinking your brain after 65. Sitting too much, not getting enough sleep, eating too many processed foods, not challenging your mind, and isolating yourself. The good news is, you can start fixing these habits today with small, manageable changes. Break up your sitting time with light movement. Prioritize 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Swap processed foods for brain-healthy options. Challenge your mind with new activities. And stay connected with others. Each of these changes is like adding a layer of protection to your brain, helping it stay sharp, vibrant, and ready for life's adventures. Think of your brain as a garden that needs care to thrive. These fixes aren't about perfection. They're about making small, consistent choices that add up over time. Start with one habit that feels doable, like taking a short walk or calling a friend, and build from there. You'll likely notice not just a sharper memory, but more energy, better mood, and a sense of confidence in your daily life. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's one habit you're ready to tackle? Or do you have a story about how you've kept your brain sharp? Your experience could inspire someone else. So don't be shy. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more tips on living your best life at any age. Your brain is an incredible gift, and with a few small changes, you can keep it shining bright. Here's to a healthier, happier you keep thriving.